Late at night, someone crawled into my bed. Smelling the familiar scent, I leaned into his arms and asked, "Honey, where did you go?" He held me and gently stroked my back, saying, "It's nothing, go back to sleep." In a daze, I suddenly woke up. If the person in front of me is my boyfriend, then whose breath has been behind me all this time? Ding! Wisnovel reminds you to click the subscribe button in the bottom right corner to read the complete novel. My body stiffened, and I pushed the boyfriend in front of me, whispering cautiously, "There's someone in the bed." In the next second, a burning warmth came from behind. "Eddie, you'll scare her like this." All the muscles in my body tensed up. This is also my boyfriend's voice. The person in front of me held me tighter, laughing. "Brother, I'm sorry, but I really miss Alicia." Both voices are exactly the same as my boyfriend's. Why are there two boyfriends in bed? What are they talking about? Am I going crazy? I screamed and tried to escape, but I fell in the darkness. The light turned on, and the sudden brightness made me instinctively cover my eyes with my hand. "The floor is cold, get up quickly." Corey Mernon helped me up and carefully checked if I was injured. But on the other side, a person who looked exactly like him waved at me with a smile. "Hello, Alicia." Same appearance, same voice, same clothes, even the diamond ring on their hands is exactly the same. I couldn't believe it and moved back. Countless images of being with Corey flashed through my mind. All the abnormalities in the past suddenly made sense. I always receive 2 gifts on holidays, watch the same movie twice. Even my dog, Bobby, has sent signals. When facing Corey, he sometimes wags his tail affectionately and sometimes barks wildly. So everything has a trace. No wonder I always felt that Corey was strange, sometimes passionate, sometimes gentle, always maintaining a sense of mystery. For 3 years, my boyfriend turned out to be 2 people? All the hair on my body stood up, and I kept moving back. Corey grabbed my hand. "Alicia, this is my twin brother, Eddie Mernon." "Brother, let me say it." Eddie interrupted him and approached me pleasingly. "Alicia, we both love you. We are both your boyfriends. In the past, my brother was afraid of scaring you, so only one of us could appear by your side. Today he finally agreed, and from now on the 3 of us will live together." "Get out of here!" I shouted angrily and pushed them away, pressing my body against the wall and moving backward. The sudden revelation made it hard for me to accept. Before this, Corey never mentioned that he had a twin brother. I also didn't know that these 2 brothers had such dirty thoughts about me. Living together with both of them, how could he say such a thing? I turned and ran, quickly opened the bedroom door, and rushed out. But Corey and Eddie miraculously didn't chase after me and let me run downstairs. "Is anyone there? Help!" I shouted loudly. But this is all detached villas, I don't know if anyone can hear it. Bang! I don't know what tripped me, and I fell to the ground. Feeling the touch on the tip of my foot, a sense of foreboding quickly rose. Trembling, I reached out my hand towards my feet. At the same time, the light turned on, and I couldn't control myself from screaming in despair. It was a dog, a wet dog soaked in blood. Its body already stiff, with only a little residual warmth. Its name is Bobby, a Labrador I have raised for 8 years. I touched its head, begging it to give me a little response. Why did you kill my Bobby? It has been with me for 8 years. I shouted in despair. Do you love Bobby more than you love us? Corey's face darkened. Alicia, you constantly remind me that there is a dog that occupies more of your love than we do. Eddie echoed. Alicia, your love belongs only to us, no one can take it away. No one can. They are insane. I immediately ran towards the gate of the villa, but found that all the doors and windows were tightly locked. I picked up a chair next to me and smashed it against the glass. Alicia, this is bulletproof tempered glass, so save some energy. The chair in my hand was snatched away by Eddie, and Corey hugged me from behind. I resisted, but facing 2 strong men, I had no chance of winning. Corey rested his chin on my shoulder. Alicia, I know you're not used to it for a while, but having one more person who loves you will make you happier. I couldn't believe it. The man I had loved deeply for 3 years could say such things. So, are you willingly sharing your wife? I sneered, trying to provoke their relationship. Corey, you are really generous, giving yourself a cuckold. Be good and listen to me. Corey wasn't angry, but gently touched my head. This tone and gesture of indulgence, which used to be full of affection, now seemed so ironic. I said to Eddie, I am your brother's wife. According to seniority, I'm your sister-in-law. This is incest. Sister-in-law? Eddie smiled and pursed his lips. It seems more exciting. Eddie suddenly bent down and lifted me up, ignoring my resistance, and walked quickly towards the bedroom. He threw me onto the bed, straddled me, and tore at my clothes while looking down at me from above. Get away from me, don't touch me. As I struggled, Corey entered the room. Honey, help me. I reached out my hand to him. Corey, I am your wife. Are you just going to watch me being raped by another man? Corey didn't answer, but looked at me with narrowed eyes and began to unbutton his pajamas. I was completely desperate. No, you can't do this to me. Eddie's hot lips pressed against my ear. Alicia, you can't be biased. You have to call me honey too. Although my brother was engaged to you, it was me who gave you the engagement ring. So, I am also your fiance. No wonder when we were backstage today, Corey suddenly said he needed to go to the bathroom. The ring that symbolized a lifetime of love for one person actually contained two people. It's absurd. I want to break up with you. Let go of me. Corey grabbed my resisting hands and held them above my head. His lips descended, muffling my voice. Underneath me, Eddie forced me into a shameful position. In desperation, I bit down without hesitation. Hiss. Corey cried out in pain, licking the blood from his lips. Alicia, teeth are not meant for biting people. He took out a belt and whipped it in the air, making a terrifying sound. No, please, I was wrong, honey, please let me go. I swear I will never mention it again and keep the secret. I pleaded in a high-pitched voice. Corey, today is our engagement day, don't do this. Eddie stopped him. Corey nodded, grabbed my hands, and tied them to the headboard with the belt. His voice whispered in my ear, seductively, Alicia, be good, spread your legs a little wider. I shook my head and looked at him, tears welling up in my eyes. No. Before I could finish the first syllable, my body was suddenly invaded. Why is the night so long? Heavy breathing, chaotic breaths. I was like a broken puppet, being mercilessly bullied and torn apart by them. And they called this behavior love. The warm morning sunlight shone in, seemingly no different from countless other mornings. I dare not open my eyes. I can only hope in my heart over and over again that it is dawn, and that last night was just a nightmare. But the cruel discomfort in my body cruelly indicates reality, and there are still two devils lying beside me. Alicia, good morning. The person on my right kissed my forehead first. I turned over and tried to avoid it, but fell into another wolf's den. It was Alicia who took the initiative. The person on my left embraced me, with our skin pressed tightly together. My body trembled instinctively, and I wanted to push away, but I was held even tighter. Baby, don't move, I can't hold back anymore. With his teasing voice, I felt something foreign underneath me. I shivered uncontrollably. Enough. A slightly warning voice came from behind, Alicia's body can't handle it. Only then did he reluctantly let me go. Although these two brothers look the same, there are subtle differences that can still be recognized. Corey on the right always gives off a mature and sophisticated vibe, while Eddie on the left has a bright temperament, with the corners of his mouth always upturned. The two of them began to get up and dress. Eddie found a black lace suspender dress from the wardrobe and gestured in front of me. Alicia would look beautiful in this. Corey glanced at it and nodded. I don't want to wear this. I tightly held onto the blanket, watching them warily. You guys go out, I'll find my own clothes to wear. Eddie teasingly touched my earlobe. Alicia, are you shy now? Is there anywhere on your body that I haven't seen or touched? Thinking of last night's humiliation, I trembled uncontrollably and told myself not to cry, but the tears kept flowing. Corey gently wiped away my tears, but his voice was not to be disobeyed. Alicia, you need to be obedient. To hell with your obedience, I'm a person, not your toy. I tore at the pitifully short piece of fabric that was the dress. Get out, both of you, get out. Since she doesn't want to wear clothes, then don't wear them. Corey pulled away the blanket, leaving me exposed to the air. I curled up, hugging myself tightly, crying silently. Corey lifted my chin. So, Alicia, are you choosing to wear this dress or not? They're both perverts. I'm scared, this kind of resistance won't bring any benefits. Taking a deep breath, I nodded gently, I'll wear it. In my heart, I silently told myself that I can't break down now, I must be strong, I must escape from here. I can definitely do it. I still have parents, family, and a happy life. I can't be imprisoned by them and become the sex slave of these two perverts. That's being obedient. Corey pulled the dress over, treating me like a puppet, and put it on me. Eddie lifted me up in his arms. I resisted and pushed him away. I can walk on my own, put me down. He smiled, our little princess is too tired, let's save your strength for more important things. I was placed on the sofa while they went to the kitchen to cook. The living room was clean, but the horrifying scene of Bobby's death kept flashing in my mind. Looking around, the entire villa felt like a luxurious cage, trapping me inside, unable to escape. There was laughter coming from the kitchen. They seemed to be discussing whether I should eat the pizza made by Corey first, or the hamburger pudding made by Eddie. It seems that I can only make a move on these two perverts. The food was plentiful and exquisite, with a beautiful bouquet of golden-edged roses on the table. Corey stood in front of the table, wearing a clean white shirt and a pink apron that was out of place. Just yesterday, I was still immersed in the happiness of love. I felt like I had accumulated good karma in my past life to meet such a good man in this life, but little did I know that he would drag me into the abyss. They surrounded me and eagerly added more food to my bowl. Before long, my bowl was piled up like a small mountain. As I ate, I maintained a calm composure and pretended to be excited. Wow, these flowers are so beautiful. Can you give me back my phone? I want to take pictures and post them on my social media. I pretended to be attracted by the flowers while stealing glances at Corey's expression. He lovingly patted my head. You're right, today is the first day after our engagement. It's time to make an official announcement on social media. Corey handed me my phone. But his eyes were fixed on the phone, and whenever I made any suspicious movements, he would snatch it away. Don't you want to take pictures? Suddenly, Eddie approached. Perhaps feeling guilty, his sudden voice startled me, and I almost dropped the phone. Under the scrutiny of their gazes, I obediently took photos and posted them. Just as I was about to tap the publish button, Corey didn't give me any chance and snatched the phone away, tucking it into his apron pocket. Disappointment was inevitable, but I didn't give up. I pretended to be calm and occasionally let my eyes wander to the apron hanging on the chair. Soon, I seized the opportunity. After dinner, Eddie went to wash the dishes, and Corey's phone rang, so he went to the balcony to answer the call. I moved stealthily, took the phone out of the apron, and held it tightly in my hand. I need to use the restroom. Leaving this sentence behind, I hurriedly escaped with the phone. Locking the restroom door, my heart was pounding, and my hands couldn't stop trembling. I unlocked the phone, quickly opened the dial pad, and pressed 911. As I kept a wary eye on the outside, I anxiously waited for the operator. When the call connected, I couldn't wait to blurt out. Hello, police? I've been raped and now I'm being held captive. But the voice on the other end of the line chilled me to the bone. Alicia, you've been naughty. It was Eddie. I clearly dialed the emergency number, so why? No wonder they dared to leave the phone behind. The sound of keys turning, and the restroom door was flung open. Two pairs of cold eyes stared at me. I was so frightened that I stumbled, but Corey quickly grabbed me by the waist. Alicia, listen carefully. His expression was completely unfamiliar. This is the only time. If you're naughty again, the punishment won't be as simple as this. Eddie looked at my wrist and said with a tender tone, These beautiful hands, if they were locked up with iron chains, it would break my heart. Warm breath lingered on my face, but I felt cold and suffocated. I knew they were capable of doing such things. But why should they play with me so recklessly? I completely lost control and took out a brow razor, pointing it at them. You're illegally imprisoning me, raping me. Let me go. Clearly, this small brow razor posed no threat to them. They laughed and approached me. I mustered all my strength and shouted as I slashed at them regardless of the consequences. But before the brow razor could touch them, my wrist was grabbed. Corey's strong fingers tightly grasped my wrist and effortlessly turned it, causing the pitiful razor to fall to the ground with a clang. My body was flipped over, and I was pinned against the wash basin. Eddie buried his face in my neck and bit me. "Alicia, you've been naughty. You need to be properly disciplined." I was stripped completely, like a toy being toyed with. I tightly closed my eyes and gripped the marble countertop of the wash basin, biting my lip to keep from making any sound. Eddie's voice behind me was soft. "Alicia, relax. Whether it's comfortable or uncomfortable, you need to give me feedback." To hell with feedback. He suddenly made a move, catching me off guard, and I couldn't help but let out a stifled moan. He smiled satisfactorily. "That's the kind of feedback I want. You two perverts. Bastards. Just kill me." I yelled at the top of my lungs. Corey lifted my head and forced me to open my eyes and look at the mirror. "Alicia, take a good look at how you belong to us." "Enough." I struggled desperately. Corey restrained me, holding my hands behind my back, and suddenly lowered his head, forcibly covering my lips. I never stopped struggling, but it was all in vain. "Someone, please help me."